As I said in the last video, Jasmine is one of my favourite Disney princesses. In fact, when I think of my favourite Disney princess, who I won't give away yet, I realise that I like her not because she reminds me of Cinderella or Ariel or even Belle. No, she reminds me of Jasmine. Now before I get started properly, I just want to clarify. None of the observations I make will have any basis in the character's race or religion because, well, let's face it, Disney didn't take that into consideration. I highly doubt an Arabian princess who's being forced to marry before her 16th birthday would be allowed to wear that outfit. So I'll be reviewing purely on the basis of the writing, which I have absolutely no problem making fun of. Considering Jasmine is the first Disney princess where the film's story doesn't revolve around her, she, in my opinion, has the most well-developed, organic and diverse personality we've seen so far. And it would have been easy to just make her a beautiful trophy. I mean, the film's focus is on a male anti-hero, with fast-paced modern-day humour and a couple of bromances. Aladdin was clearly aimed at teenage boys, a demographic they tried to regain through the action-adventure The Rescuers Down Under, but sadly failed because movie marketers don't know what the flying fuck they're doing. Anyway, instead of making Jasmine a prize to be won, they didn't.
I am not a prize to be won!
Kind of sad that it took until 1994 for a Disney woman to say that, but right on! She's not just a prize to be won. Taking note from Ariel and Belle before her, she's feeling trapped and wants to escape, maybe even give up on royalty altogether. It actually struck me while writing this episode, Disney princesses have developed a cliché, the
"maybe I don't want to be a princess anymore"
cliché. But we hadn't seen anyone want out of a royal family before Jasmine. Snow White, Cinderella and Belle all married into it with no qualms, and Ariel was a princess before she met her prince. Aurora is the only one to be unhappy about her lot in life, but that's only because her discovery of it meant she couldn't invite a boy to her birthday party. Jasmine's unhappy about it because she feels like she'll never have control over her own life. That's a real, deep-seated conflict that, in her universe, is difficult to remedy. Yes! Yes, Disney, this is how you write relatable characters, you're finally getting it! I mentioned that something I liked about Belle was her sense of humour, and while that still stands, Beauty and the Beast is a drama, so her comedy was confined to a few quips here and there. Aladdin was unashamedly a comedy, and while it's easy for her to be overshadowed by Robin Williams as the genie, Jasmine definitely has her moments. For example, when she's caught accidentally stealing in the marketplace, Aladdin gets her out of her punishment by pretending she's his crazy sister. And not only is she smart enough to play along,
she thinks the monkey is the Sultan.
Oh, wise Sultan.
She actually has the wit to elaborate.
Time to go see the doctor.
Oh, hello, doctor.
And I love the crazy eyes she makes here, it just cracks me up. This is also put to use in more dramatic moments, like when she has to pretend to seduce Jafar.
And your beard is so twisted.
That is gross. Honestly, if I had a complaint, it would be that she's maybe got too much wit. I mean, for someone who has
never even been outside the palace walls.
She picks up the way of the street very quickly. She does say she's a fast learner, but she's never been outside the palace walls. I couldn't do any of that, and I've been known to leave the house sometimes. Okay, look, I don't have that many criticisms of Jasmine. I think she's awesome. I like that she refuses to take any bullshit. I like her playful side. She has a motherfucking pet tiger! That's like 5,000 cool points right there! Does she fare as well in romance?
I can show you the world.
Yeah, pretty much. As a kid, I actually didn't like the love story in Aladdin, but as I grew up into a teen, I started to understand it more. This is two teenagers falling in love. It's awkward, it's fueled by passion and hormones. They talk about what sucks about their lives and what they hope will change in the future. And it's packed full of massive, massive lies. Anyone who had a boyfriend or girlfriend at 15 probably had this exact relationship. And the magic carpet ride? Holy fuck, is that romantic! Not just because it's grand and beautiful and not something you do every day, but because it's the one thing Jasmine wants more than anything. Freedom, to get out of the palace and see the world. And Aladdin is making that happen. That's love, bitches! And that song is laced with sexual innuendo, by the way.
Over, sideways, and under.
Don't act like you didn't notice. But, of course, there are a couple of downsides. The lesser of them is the love at first sight aspect, which is a cliche that the Disney princesses have well and truly earned. This would normally be my biggest problem with the couple, but in this case it's just a minor one. Maybe it's the benefit of lowered standards from the likes of Cinderella and Aurora, but I at least see chemistry in this couple. And while I don't really buy that they could get married within a few days of meeting, I do buy them as a couple more than any we've looked at so far. Yes, even Belle and the Beast. The bigger problem I have is the resolution of their relationship. Jasmine can't marry Aladdin because he's not a prince, which is what the whole Prince Ali deception aimed to get around. In the end, they love each other for who they truly are, which is sweet, but Jasmine's father just suddenly changes his mind. It really annoys me that it takes the reassurance that Aladdin will marry his daughter for him to change the law, rather than her heartfelt protests. And nothing's changed that dramatically. Like I say, he's only changing the law because she has agreed to marry, but just a few days ago she was saying she might never get married.
If I do marry, I want it to be for love.
If. No princess has said if to the prospect of marriage before, and she had to give that up to get her way. But as I said, I do like them as a couple, a lot, and if getting them hitched gives them their happily ever after, then fine, I can deal with that. Jasmine only has two very clear wishes. One, to marry for love, not law, which we've previously discussed, and two, to have some freedom. I guess this dream is fully realised in a non-explicit way by the end. By having the magic carpet in her life, she can go literally wherever she wants. I'm more impressed, however, by the first time she seeks this dream out. Because she actually seeks it out. She doesn't sit around waiting for it to come to her, or sit around complaining about it. Much. She goes out and tries to make it happen. Proactivity. I have mentioned this before. It is a good trait for any character to have. Show don't tell, it's a cardinal rule of writing. And Disney definitely noted its success here, because many princesses that follow will have much more go-getter spirit. And thank God, because quite frankly, I was getting bored of so-called strong characters passively sitting back and having all the work done for them. Have I made it clear that I love Jasmine? Because I love Jasmine. She's funny, she's smart, she's feisty, she knows what she wants, and she won't stop fighting until she gets it. If she had a waist that was physically possible for humans, I'd say she was the best Disney princess to try and emulate. Next up is the character I considered my favourite as a child. Has she gone up in my estimation as I've grown into adulthood? Find out next time with Nala from The Lion King.
Made you look.